Some trips aren't about how fast you arrive, but how the journey makes you feel. Case in point, the Grand Canyon Railway, which has been running since 1901, carrying travelers through pine forests and high deserts to one of the most iconic views in the world. Today we're hopping aboard to see what it's like to experience the Grand Canyon the old-fashioned way. But is it worth trading your car for a ticket on this historic train? Let's find out. Oh, and at the end of this video, we also explore Route 66 history and stay at Arizona's oldest hotel. We started our journey by making our way to Williams, Arizona, grabbing our tickets and then going over to watch the Cowboy show. Note that we booked the most expensive ticket on the way there and the cheapest ticket on the way back so that you can see both. Made it to the depot, we got our tickets, we were heading to the Western show before we board the train to the Grand Canyon. 30 minutes before the train departs, there's a Wild West Cowboy show that runs for about 15 minutes and gives you a fun jump into the Old West atmosphere. It's pretty cheesy, but look who got selected to be a part of the show.
No! You know how to play poker?
Yeah.
Not like we do. Come with me.
I'm not really sure how many videos I showed up in during this scene, as I saw a lot of people taking pictures. It was a cheesy show, but it was a fun way to start the day, and it does get pretty loud with the gunshots, so know that if you have some children there. After the show ended, it was time to find our place on the train, and this was a massive train with many different train cars. I'd say there's over a dozen probably. You just have to find the car name that corresponds with your ticket, and on the way there, we were in the Observation Dome car. This was the most expensive ticket that we were allowed to access, as the Luxury Dome and the Luxury Parlor are 16 plus, so we couldn't go in with the kids.
There's even windows on the roof.
There is windows on the roof, wow! The seats were comfortable and spacious, and they had a lot of room for my legs. There's also a small tray that folds down for your drinks and a pocket to hold any of your gear you brought. After the introduction, the train set out and we were waving goodbye to the people watching and the outlaws. This journey takes around 2 hours and 15 minutes, but they said it can take a little longer if there's any cow jams on the tracks that they have to stop for. And the observation car is situated on the second story, giving you a great view down towards the tracks and out into the distance. After the train got rolling, we headed down to where they had a selection of snacks and drinks for us to try. This included pastries and fruit, and of course hot chocolate and coffee in the morning. From what I could tell, this seemed to be included in the first class and above cabins. Alright, as we're taking in some of the views from the train, let me give you some information on it. First, it runs daily between Williams and the south rim of the Grand Canyon. The distance is about 65 miles, but it does take 2 hours and 15 minutes. Note that this is the line that the famous Polar Express goes on, so you may see them setting up for it depending on what time you go. And if you're interested in what the Polar Express is like, you can check out that video in the description. The experience is designed to entertain you, and along the way you'll even have people coming in to play music and to interact with you and tell you about the history. For what you'll see along the way, you start in the forest and then you head into the high desert before ending in the plateau. Honestly, I would say that the views are not that exciting on the train, as it's mostly just flat landscape stretching out in front of you. You may get lucky and see some wildlife, but we only saw cows on our trip. And unfortunately, as we were making our way out, we saw some rain clouds starting to roll in and were greeted with torrential downpour and lightning.
It's starting to pour rain, so we'll see how this goes at the Grand Canyon. Are you excited about the Grand Canyon and the rain, buddy? Yeah.
I figured the rain was a good time to come down and refill my coffee and also show you that there is a bathroom on the train in case you need it. And then the deputy marshal came on the train and he gave the kids pins and he gave all the adults maps for the Grand Canyon so that they could start to figure out what they wanted to do. And then the last 45 minutes was uneventful, mostly just because the rain blocked any of our views, so we played Uno, read some books, and just enjoyed the relatively comfortable and smooth train ride. Definitely make sure you stay to the end to see how this experience compares to the cheapest experience and why we actually kind of liked the cheapest experience best.
I am not tall enough to fully stand up in here.
When we arrived, it was time to disembark and start our 3 to 4 hours exploring the Grand Canyon. We've made it to the rainy Grand Canyon.
It was like 90 yesterday and now we're raining and freezing. Not prepared.
Are you guys excited to be at the Grand Canyon?
Is this the Grand Canyon?
It's not the Grand Canyon. Wait till you see the actual one.
Before we explore the Grand Canyon, it's a good time to tell you about our sponsor, LMNT. You guys know I've been talking about LMNT for a few months now, and I've tried a lot of hydration drinks on my hikes, but none deliver like LMNT does. It's simple, electrolytes that work without all the junk. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It's specifically built to help anyone, from hikers and athletes to travelers and parents, to stay hydrated and sharp. When you sweat, you lose sodium, and without replacing it, fatigue and cramps can hit fast. So whenever you need it, LMNT is there to help you keep performing at your best. When I'm out hiking or sweating in the sun, it's my go-to drink, and they just released a new lemonade flavor that's tangy and refreshing. Plus, they also make cans now that come in a sparkling version with the same formula, but just adding some fizz to it.
Right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free 8-count sample pack of some of their most popular flavors with any order. That's 8 single-serving packs with any order. My favorite right now is definitely the watermelon salt. If you want to check it out, go to drinklmnt.com/throughmylens or click the link in the description. All right, let's go explore more of the Grand Canyon.
After the train lets you off, you can go explore the historic Grand Canyon Depot, which was built in 1909. And then from there, you can head up to the Grand Canyon itself.
We are running to get our first view of the Grand Canyon on a stormy day. What do you think, Sunny?
Whoa.
Is that bigger than the other Grand Canyon?
Yeah. Like it.
I feel like the Grand Canyon hates me. Last time I was here with my dad, I couldn't see anything at all. It was completely cloud covered. This time, I bought some $40 umbrellas. Are you guys excited about your umbrellas? Whatever makes our trip a little bit better, right guys? But even with all of that, the Grand Canyon is still incredible. First order of business is to become junior rangers because you can't stop junior rangers with a little bit of rain.
Believe it or not, 3 hours isn't really a lot of time at the Grand Canyon, so you have to do everything relatively quickly. First, we headed to the visitor center where we could get our stamp, check out the shop, and then pick up our junior ranger booklets.
This is the historic Tovar Hotel. I actually stayed here with my dad, which you can see in the Arizona video. It is beautiful.
The Tovar Hotel was built in 1905, and it was built to serve tourists arriving via the Santa Fe Railway. What's interesting about it is that it actually predates the Grand Canyon's designation as a national park, and it has 78 guest rooms, including 12 suites. Most of the rooms actually don't have canyon views, and it was designed that way as they expected people to spend time outside instead of inside of the rooms.
All right, so if you take the train, you got about 3.5 hours to hang out. So mainly that just means walking along the South Rim, getting something to eat, taking in the different views, but not a lot else. There are some add-on bus tours that you can take to different areas, but we're just exploring this. We'll show you what you can do.
After leaving the hotel, our first stop brought us over to the Hopi House, which was built in 1905. The idea was to make a building that looked like a Hopi Pueblo dwelling and use it as a place to sell Native American arts and crafts. The building actually still functions much like it was created to do, as it's a historic structure and it sells Native American arts and crafts inside. If you're looking for a unique souvenir, this is definitely the best place to get one at the Grand Canyon. From there, we walked along the South Rim, taking in many of the different viewpoints and trying to dodge the rain that was coming down on and off.
Are you soaking wet?
I am.
Then you should get some rain gear.
I did. I bought an umbrella and you took it from me. The Grand Canyon is always mind-blowing. It's so hard to describe how beautiful this is. You just have to see with your own eyes. And it's kind of cool how moody it is today too. I love it.
We decided to head in for a sit-down lunch at the Arizona Steakhouse while we waited for the weather to get better. The Arizona Steakhouse is part of the Bright Angel Lodge, which is another one of the historic hotels in the national park. It's actually one of the few restaurants in the national park that has canyon views from its seating area, and it was a great place to sit and work on our Junior Ranger activity booklet. The menu is basically what you'd expect, like a Southwestern American style food. We ended up going with some burgers, a turkey sandwich, and a hot dog.
This is a really great burger. Tons of meat, good flavor with the poblano peppers. I recommend this one.
That's actually a great place for a meal. I enjoyed it, and as you can see, the weather has not gotten any better, so we're heading down to the Bright Angel Lodge.
The Bright Angel Lodge was built in 1935, and it's an awesome historic hotel. We just headed over to the history room where they have a lot of information on the Harvey houses. It's pretty small, but the displays focus on Fred Harvey, Mary Coulter's architectural role in designing some of the buildings, and the Santa Fe Railway's influence in opening up access to the canyon. And then in the same room, they also have fudge, and you can get free samples. By the time we were done with that, the rain actually subsided, so we were able to explore more of the South Rim without being drenched. Even if the weather was good, you can't really explore much more than this unless you take one of the bus tours, but it's a great introduction to the Grand Canyon, especially if you've never been before. Next, we headed over to the Lookout Studio, which was built in 1914, and it was intended to be a photography studio and an observation point. It's still used as an observation point with some great views from the back patio, and then the rest of the location is used as a store.
This art studio and bookstore is actually not open today. They're still working on restoring it, but it is a cool spot when it's open. And this is the end of the Rim to Rim trail right here. I'm gonna give you a view from up here so you can see how crazy it is. Here's the trail, the start of it right here. You go through that, and then it basically just switchbacks all the way down, and you can get to the river down there eventually.
If you're interested in what it's like to hike rim to rim, it's definitely the most difficult hike I've ever done in my life, and you can see a video on that in the description.
Believe it or not, this actually turned out to be a pretty nice day. About 30 minutes before we leave, the rain is over and we got some great views. I mean, you can see all the way across to the North Rim over there. And I like the way the clouds are just kind of moving through the different parts of the Grand Canyon.
Unfortunately, as the weather started to turn nice, we had to start the walk back to the train.
All right, for our last order of business before we get back on the train, they gave me these Junior Ranger badges to give to some new Junior Rangers.
Junior Rangers?
Junior Ranger 1 and Junior Ranger 2. Her first Junior Ranger badge.
Do you promise to protect all nature and wildlife, Sunny?
Yeah.
And with that, it is back to the train, and we're going to show you what a different train experience is on the way back.
On the way back, we decided to walk around the front so we could see the train engine up close, and then as we were making our way to our car, we actually saw a bull elk. This was one of the coolest parts for everyone on the train who was there waiting, including my children, and everybody was just taking photos and telling their friends about it. On the way there, we rode the most expensive with the observation dome, and then on the way back, we rode the cheapest with the Pullman class. One thing to note right away is that this car doesn't have air conditioning, just open windows.
Well, here's the first difference. We have very limited legroom in this seat. Luckily, we have the kids so we could stretch out that way at least.
The train started right at 3:30, and we said goodbye to the Grand Canyon while the first performer came in to start playing songs for us.
Take me home to the place where the ring of fire I fell.
I have to say, this is a pretty cool way to start our trip back from the Grand Canyon, and the kids loved the music and just looking out the window as the train went on. A little bit about the Pullman class. These are the vintage historic coach cars that were built in 1923. They've been restored, but they retain a lot of their original character, which is why they don't have air conditioning. And it definitely gives you that feel of how the railroad once was.
The way here was fun, but I think this is more fun, at least when it's not hot. We've got the windows open, we're listening to music. It's pretty hard to beat.
We spent the next 45 minutes just hanging out, taking in the views, and enjoying the fact that it wasn't raining. And in case you're wondering about food, there's nothing provided for you in this class, but there is a cafe car that you can go to.
It's nice in the cafe car. You can come sit back here, and there's places for you to eat and have a different view if you want.
The cafe car had all sorts of stuff from sandwiches and candy to chips and drinks. There's also a water refill station that's free if you want to refill your water while you're on the train.
Got a margarita?
Yes. It's just a clear one.
As we were sitting there taking in the views and enjoying our snacks and hundreds of cattle, we got the notification that the train robbers were on the loose again and might be boarding our train.
Well, we have heard that they have broken out of jail, and they're going to try to chase our train down.
I said the train had to stop to get the robbers on.
And then you had to use a stool.
About to get robbed. Order.
If you want to participate in the train robbery, you pull out some money and you put it on the seat or behind your ear or something like that, and as they're coming through, they'll grab it from you. Sunny was originally excited about getting robbed, but then was terrified, and so Jack switched with her and we got robbed.
We got robbed. I mean, this is just a good time. We stopped, the robbers came on, they grabbed some things, they interacted with the kids. It's a good time.
About 30 minutes after the infamous robbery, we were arriving back in Williams, completing our long day on the Grand Canyon Railroad.
I think it was super fun. Great for kids, family, interesting way to get to the Grand Canyon. The last 30 minutes was a little wild.
It is legitimately a full day. We got here at 8:45 and it is 6 o'clock right now. But it is a lot of fun, really unique experience for sure. Don't leave yet. We're gonna show you the oldest hotel in Arizona and Route 66 stuff at night.
Since it was already 6:30, we weren't gonna drive anywhere and we decided to stay at the historic Grand Canyon Hotel in Williams. This building was constructed in 1891 and opened in 1892. It was ran all the way until 1970 when it closed and sat empty for 30 years. Then in 2004, it started a major renovation project and was reopened. It's definitely an incredible building to explore, and I say the downstairs library is my favorite part.
This is us, room number 7. Pretty cool spot. I like the vibe. Look at this old school refrigerator right here. And then there's one room right there. And then we got the kids' bunk bed room, which is pretty awesome, and they're definitely excited about that. Plus, these are queen bunk beds. I don't think I've ever seen queen bunk beds before. And outside of the bedroom, we have this awesome living room with some playthings for the kids, which is great. And then there's the sink for the bathroom. And here is the bathroom. I don't know about you guys, but this is a pretty cool spot.
After checking into the room, 2 doors down was a taco shop that the people in the lobby told us was really good, so that's where we headed for dinner.
We got a cheese quesadilla, a bean and cheese burrito, and this crazy pizza. Wow, look at that. This is the burrito pizza with the dip. I mean, that is incredible. I've never seen anything like that before.
So good. The meat has so much flavor. It's juicy, fresh cilantro. It's really good.
I've never had anything like that before either. That is awesome.
Look, this is definitely not health food, but I can't say that it wasn't an amazing experience. Let me know if you try it.
Got the kids to sleep, and as promised, I am back out exploring Route 66 before calling it a night. Honestly, this is one of the best towns for the neon lights of Route 66. At least it was 6 years ago when we drove through, so let's see what's up. The last town bypassed by the I-40, October 13, 1984.
I love Williams for Route 66. It's about as good as it gets for that Americana feel with neon signs and tons of Route 66 love. Even at 7 o'clock at night on a weekday, a lot of the shops were still open and there's a lot of people walking around just taking it in.
This is supposedly the world's largest steel Route 66 sign.
I was told by one of the people working at a store that they even have summer street shows along the street and they have mock shootouts and all sorts of crazy stuff. It seems like there's neon on every business, even the ones that are not associated with Route 66. And it only takes about 15 minutes to walk up and down the main street.
This is the type of place that definitely reminds me of Route 66 right here.
Right on the corner of 4th Street and Route 66 was a shop I'd never seen before and which blew me away with all the cool stuff they had on display.
Check it out, it's Lightning McMater. It even says it on the door.
I have no idea what this spot is called and I can't even find it on Google Maps, so if you know what it's called, let me know in the comments. Either way, if you make it to Williams and you're exploring Route 66, definitely make sure you stop by here. They have so many unique souvenirs and things on display, I'm sure you'll come home with something.
Hey, check it out, they got a statue of Pops on Route 66 now. It looks just like him. I don't know, I think that's such a cool town to explore. Let me know what you think in the comments. I cannot wait to drive Route 66 again next year for the 100th anniversary. Until then, we'll see you on the next video and I hope you enjoyed this adventure.
Let me know what you think about this one in the comments and if you have a spot you want us to explore on another video. We'll see you on the next one.